Pennywort soup with ground pork is one of those dishes that quietly carries both tradition and rejuvenation in every bite. It's the kind of soup that feels like a gentle cleanse for both body and spirit, refreshing, light, and packed with goodness. The combination of Pennywort with its fresh, slightly bitter notes and the rich, savory depth of ground pork creates a balance that feels incredibly grounding, yet uplifting at the same time. It's a soup that feels both nurturing and healing, making it perfect for those days when you want to feel restored or simply enjoy something light and full of life. The base of the soup is Pennywort, Rauma, herb often used for its cooling and detoxifying properties. When you first add it to the broth, the fresh, grassy aroma fills the air, immediately lifting the atmosphere of the kitchen. Pennywort is known for its high vitamin C content and antioxidant properties, which makes it a perfect addition to a soup that is both nourishing and rejuvenating. As you simmer it, the leaves infuse the broth with a soft, earthy flavor that is refreshing but never overpowering. It's a taste that invites you to slow down and savor the moment, knowing that each spoonful is doing something good for your body. To start, prepare your ingredients: fresh Pennywort, which you can find at Asian markets, and some ground pork. The pork brings a rich, savory quality to the soup, offering a delicious contrast to the fresh green notes of the Pennywort. Start by heating a pot and browning the ground pork with a bit of garlic or shallots for extra depth. As the pork cooks, it will release its natural fats, which create a nice base for the broth. Once the pork is browned, pour in water or light chicken broth and let it come to a gentle simmer. You can skim the surface of the broth to remove any impurities, making sure the base stays clear and light. Once the broth is simmering and the pork is fully cooked, add the Pennywort leaves. You'll want to add them just a few minutes before serving, as they only need to cook briefly to release their flavors and nutrients. Pennywort can turn slightly bitter if overcooked, so a quick simmer is enough to bring out its best qualities. As the leaves soften and release their vibrant green color, the soup takes on a beautiful, refreshing hue, and the aroma becomes almost intoxicating in its freshness. The flavor of the soup is subtly layered, earthy from the Pennywort, savory from the pork, and balanced with a light seasoning of salt, fish sauce, or a splash of lime for a hint of acidity. Taste as you go and adjust, ensuring that the soup maintains its light, refreshing essence while allowing the pork to contribute its richness. If you like a touch of heat, a few slices of fresh chili or a drizzle of chili oil can add a gentle warmth that complements the cooling properties of the Pennywort. You can also finish the soup with a handful of fresh herbs like cilantro or Thai basil, which will add a burst of fragrance to the dish. When you finally sit down to enjoy the soup, you're met with something that feels both invigorating and comforting. The ground pork provides a satisfying richness, while the Pennywort keeps the overall flavor profile fresh and clean. It's a soup that doesn't weigh you down. Instead, it refreshes and restores, leaving you feeling light yet deeply nourished. It's perfect for a warm afternoon or a light evening meal when you want to give your body something that helps it reset. It's also wonderful after a long week when you crave a detoxifying, gentle cleanse. What makes Pennywort soup with ground pork so special is the way it so effortlessly blends nourishment with simplicity. It's not a soup that calls for complex techniques or hard-to-find ingredients. Instead, it's a beautiful reminder of how nature can provide us with everything we need to feel our best. The lightness of the soup helps you feel rejuvenated, while the pork gives it just enough substance to satisfy your appetite. It's a balance that feels right every time. Cooking this soup is also an act of mindfulness. The process of simmering, tasting, and adjusting feels meditative. Watching the fresh green Pennywort leaves wilt gently into the broth is a simple but calming ritual. When you share this soup with others, it feels like you're sharing something truly wholesome, something that carries with it the idea of slowing down, of taking care, of providing nourishment in the simplest, most restorative way. Pennywort soup with ground pork is a dish that feels like a small but significant gift. It's not overly complicated or rich, yet it's deeply fulfilling. It's light, detoxifying, and filled with goodness, both for your body and your mind. Each bowl is a reminder that sometimes the most refreshing meals come from the simplest of ingredients, cooked with care and shared with joy.